Cedric?
What I think is most important is that being that he is so famous, he doesn't really have time for himself. So I'm looking to give him a part of his life back where he actually relax and take some time to be with the family.
And I have said for years, if the is any good, you won't even know it's happened. You will be in it and you won't even know it's happened. And if they is any good, he or she is going to make you feel like
former employee of who was working at Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges, including indecent assault, as well as
you done birthed a lot of these fucking content creators.
Let me tell you, the streets are buzzing with some piping hot tea. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of talk shows, just dropped a bombshell that's got Diddy shaking in his designer boots. You'll know Oprah don't play when it comes to spilling secrets, and this time she's coming for the bad boy himself. Now we all know Diddy as the smooth-talking music muggle who's been running the game for decades, but Chell, it looks like his empire might be crumbling faster than you can say, can't know. And he hold me down, the word on the street is that Oprah's got some footage that's so scandalous it could make Diddy's past controversies look like child's play. What's in this late video? And how did Oprah get her hands on it? The tea is scorching, and you know we're about to serve it up piping hot. Diddy's probably sweating bullets right now, wondering if his carefully crafted image is about to go up in smoke. Stay tuned, cause this drama is just getting started.
And I don't know if he said kill her, but I heard the part about the putting in the car, and that's the same shit that when Kirk Burroughs wouldn't sign over his rights to Bad Boy, his 25%, that he was threatening to do. Kirk was like, yo, y'all nigga put that nigga in the car and drive him around. So I could see him doing that shit with the putting in the car stuff, but I don't see him killing her for the article and all that, bro. But the putting her in the car, something like that, I could see him saying that to her.
So that's something that he told the Kirk Burroughs too then?
Yeah, he told Kirk Burroughs that when he was threatening with them baseball bats.
What's the story with that, yo?
I think it was like Kirk had to sign over Bad Boy. He had like 25% of Bad Boy, but for them to get the deal, everything had to be in one lump thing. Like somebody couldn't owe 25%, somebody couldn't owe him for Puff to do the deal. So Kirk had to sign over his shares in order for them to do the deal, which I didn't never understand. It wasn't my business to understand it. But Kirk ended up signing over it back to Diddy with the promise that he was going to get it back once they do the whole thing with Clive Davis and everything. And Kirk had to be threatened in order to do it. And that was with there was no real baseball bats. You know those mini baseball bats you get from the games back in the day? Those little short baseball bats, they used to give them back in the day when we was growing up. I don't think they do that anymore. You know, so Puff threatened Kirk with that, a couple other dudes, and told me, man, you're gonna take this long ride or you're gonna give up that percentage of the company.
And that's when Kirk Burroughs, he signed it over, he was scared?
Yeah, he's scared. What else he gonna do?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, to hear that from you, that confirms it. Because when people hear this, they start to believe that, it's being made up and, people going overboard with the lies. But, to hear that from you.
Yeah, I know, bro. That's the whole thing about it is that. But then, some people, they go by faith and other people go by sight. You know what I'm saying? I live by faith, brother. See, nobody believed he was the man that he was until they seen him running down the hall, throwing that little girl against the wall, throwing her on the floor, and start kicking her like she was somebody's soccer ball. They had to see that to believe the evil in him. So when I tell these stories, they don't believe. And some of them, I heard, I'm there. Yo, I have Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. When I come to work, yo, Gene, this what happened. Yo, Gene, did you hear that? Yo, Gene, da-da-da-da-da. I'm looking at this nigga like, for real? Wow. So now everybody think that because I talk about it, that I was a part of it and I saw it. Not everything. Do we have to rough some cats up? Yeah. I'm for that. Back in the day, I'm for that. Whatever. Sue's Rendezvous was gladiator school for me. I love that, especially when dudes start talking that stuff and what they gonna do. That's a younger part of Gene. When we doing them parties, I'm at the front door and dudes are talking that smack. I'm for that. That was a younger Gene. These are just stories of my life. It's a difference. So when Puff did some of those things like that, yeah. But I'm not gonna be involved in him hurting somebody's daughter, drugging somebody's daughter, or raping somebody's daughter. Not Gene Deal. I got daughters of my own. I got sisters. No, you're not doing that. So when these guys make up that shit out here on these content creators and want to believe this and say that, you can make your mouth say anything.
Let me tell you about this leaked footage that's got Diddy shook the streets are saying it's messier than a toddler's finger painting, and Oprah is sitting on it like it's gold. Now, what exactly is in this video that's got everybody talking word do this ain't no ordinary home movie it's showing? Diddy in some real compromising situations, if you know what I mean. We're talking about the kind of stuff that could make even the hardest gangster blush. The tea is it's not just one video but a whole collection of clips that paint a picture darker than Dia's designer shades. Some folks are whispering that the footage shows Diddy getting a little too friendly with people who ain't exactly on this level. If you catch my drift, we're talking about young artists, maybe even some who were underage at the time. If that's true, Day's going to need more than his smooth talk to get out of this mess. But that's not all. The streets are buzzing about some clips that supposedly show Diddy making some shady business deals. You know how they say money talks. Well, in these videos, it's screaming we're hearing about under the table payments, threats, and all kinds of dirty dealings that would make them mob bosses.
And it's like, it's Diddy, but, and I know there's a connection there too.
Hollywood and celebrity culture, but there are some people who super get into it, right? And this TikToker was one of them. Here's the post from her sister here, got 9,000 likes, talking about how her sister passed away and they don't know what happened. They're not sure what the hell happened. If you go through her account, what you can see, the deceased account, is you can see her with millions of views actually talking about, well, some pretty big name people, right? Noah Cyrus, The Rock, Timothy Chalamet, Kylie Jenner. I don't even know how to say his name right. That shows you exactly how tied into celebrity culture I am. Selena Gomez, Jay-Z, and so on and so on. Sacha Baron Cohen. And so what a lot of this, what she talks about is effectively, sort of exposing what is going on right now. Like here with Diddy is a good example, right? Talking about Diddy and what's actually happening behind the scenes. An example of her work and talking about Diddy, like right here.
You want more? I'll give you more. Speaking of that J. Lulu jail time, we've got another Diddy blind item. So this is in 2013 and this was released on PR Newswire. I used to also have to do investor relations and I used to release, write the press releases to give and send them to PR Newswire. That's funny. Sean Diddy Combs and Ciroc Ultra Premium Vodka team up with Uber for the holidays to provide $1 million worth of safe rides home. Ciroc will host additional pledge parties throughout the month of December in key markets including New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. This sounds like a great idea. So Diddy hosts parties all over the country, but specifically those markets where, I don't know, Diddy's parties, he likes to ply women full of stuff and then, oops, they need rides home. This sounds like the makings of nothing good. Now in hindsight, people are looking at the producer Wannabe Rapper and his charity that he ran about a decade ago. Basically, it involved giving drunk women, especially celebrities, a ride home. The more drunk, the better. Our producer / Wannabe Rapper would sometimes personally take them home.
That reminds me of the Equalizer movie. That's where my mind is going. That girl they gave a ride home to, if you've seen the movie.
that he ran about a decade ago. Basically, it involved giving drunk women, especially celebrities, a ride home. The more drunk, the better. Our producer slash wannabe rapper would sometimes personally take them home.
Does she have any?
Diddy's not an Uber driver, but he would personally take these people from his pledge parties home. How much do you guys want to bet that they didn't make it home?
Sure.
Allegedly, there's still 4 or 5 of them still trapped in Diddy's basement.
Now let's talk context. These videos ain't from last week, or even last year. Rumor has it they span over a decade of Diddy's career. That means if this footage is real, Diddy's been playing a dangerous game for a long time. And you know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So, how could this be incriminating for Diddy girl? Where do I even start? If these videos show what people are saying they do, we're talking about some serious legal trouble. We're not just talking about a slap on the wrist or a fine that Diddy can pay off with his pocket change. This could be career-ending, freedom-threatening kind of trouble. Think about it. If there's proof of Diddy taking advantage of young artists or making illegal business deals, that's the kind of stuff that could land him behind bars. And let's not forget about the court of public opinion even. If Diddy somehow dodges legal consequences, his reputation could be toast. We're talking about the kind of scandal that could make people look at his whole career differently. But here's the real kicker. We don't know for sure what's in these videos yet. All we've got is rumors and whispers. Maybe it's not as bad as people are saying, or maybe it's even worse. Either way, one thing's for sure, DA's probably not getting much sleep these days, wondering when and how this footage might drop. So buckle up, cause this ride's about to get bumpy. If Oprah really got the cuts on Diddy, we might be about to see one of the biggest scandals in music history. And you know we'll be here spilling all the tea as it comes out.
That's crazy, man. But have you been hearing any news about him getting indicted or no?
No, one of my friends who was actually in the studio with him said that Homeland Security brought him in, and this dude is he's a fraternity brother of mine, but he's also a producer, an engineer, and he was in the studio the night one of the girls made a complaint. The night something happened to one of the girls, and he told the lawyer everything that the girl told him, which was crazy. And Homeland Security brought him in. So he told them they wouldn't let him know what they were doing, but it seemed like that something might happen before Labor Day.
Wow, before Labor Day?
Yeah. They working hard on this, bruh. They working hard. You gotta realize they working with a lot of stuff. They working with the taxes. They got lawyers for the taxes. They got lawyers for the complaints for the what you call that? SA sexual assault complaints. They got lawyers for what else? The drugs, the gun trafficking. They got different lawyers working on all those things, bro. And they got witnesses.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the girl saying to the lawyers?
Oh, the girl has said that that same shit that happened to little Chris, he gave him a bottle of champagne or wine or whatever like that. And once she drank it, she became a certain way and found herself giving him a fellatio in the studio in front of people. The dude said he walked out because he was appalled. He had just had a daughter. So he walked out. So he was appalled. That's what he told me. So I'm like, damn, team. He said, yeah. So the same thing that she told her lawyer, he told the lawyer and Homeland Security. And he was actually there, a college graduate, you understand? Working, good dude, perfect witness. He told, the engineer told Homeland Security and her lawyer the same exact thing she told them. He said he was appalled at what he saw and walked out. So they got witnesses. They got witnesses, bruh. They have people want to make up stuff, but they got people who was there that was witness and speaking about it. See, people get mad because I'm saying it first. They hearing it from me. But I could care less how somebody else feel or think. I'm not here to praise Diddy. No, I'm not. Like Brutus told the sentence, I'm here to bury him. He did enough wrong for people around us, to people around us. He did enough wrong to their mother. He did enough wrong to them. He need to pay the piper. I don't care what nobody say. You can feel whatever you want to feel. You can call Gene Deal whatever you want to call Gene Deal. You can say whatever you want to say. But I came here November the 18th, 2018, and I told y'all from Jump Street, I didn't know I was going to get a platform like Art of Dialogue. I didn't know I was going to get a platform like MREC, different people who helped me build this up. Did I have my own show? Everybody want to come here and think that I just talk about Diddy. You come to the Gene Deal show, you see a different things. I talk about everything. But when I'm come to do an interview, I answer the questions. And my thing of it right here is this, is that I'm not here to praise somebody. A real man don't hold or bite his tongue for nobody when injustice has been done to people, first of all, that he got love for. And second of all, for when somebody know that somebody is wrong. I've been saying the same shit since 97, Mighty. I was the one in there holding Big's mom's hand while she crying. These people come over here, I initiated a lot of this stuff for these YouTubers to go to their platforms and talk about stuff, because they sit around and talk about stuff that I didn't say, that they didn't heard on the Art of Dialogue. You didn't birthed a lot of these fucking content creators.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that. I mean, a lot of platforms, did start talking about it after, we've been talking about it for years. So, yeah, you're right about that.
And they were scared at first, Mighty. They were scared to say anything.
But my thing is this, right? With all the money and fame that Diddy has, why is he out here drugging females to get fellatio? You would think, him being who he is, he don't got to do that.
Bruh, he's a different dude from when I was around them and people was like Suge even said that Puff is different now. You understand? When he went to California, man, that's a whole nother stuff, man. Dudes in New York wouldn't even, he probably was doing a little of that stuff right there in New York around people and things like that, but he knew who to do that around. You understand what I'm saying? He knew who to do shit like that around. And when you don't have no conversation, he said it before, he don't know how to talk to women. He don't have no conversation for Jennifer Lopez. I seen him, I was there when they had conversations. She would say some fly shit to him. You know what the perfect day would be with me and you just sitting out here, eating, just sitting out here, having a light lunch, drinking some wine, and just talking and talking and talking. She would say stuff like that to him. You know what I'm saying? And this nigga be looking like he's stuck on stupid. So I've seen him have conversations. He would say to Wolf and them, yo, man, I don't know how to talk to girls. But when you got that kind of money, you shouldn't have to know how to talk to girls. Or read a book and learn how to talk to them.
Diddy ain't just sitting pretty while this storm's brewing. The streets are saying he's in full-on panic mode. And can you blame him with Oprah holding on to footage that could make or break his whole empire? D's probably feeling like the walls are closing in. Word is when Diddy first got wind of this leak, he went into lockdown faster than you can say. Bad boy for life. Sources close to his team are whispering that he's holed up in his mansion making frantic calls left and right. Can you imagine being a fly on those walls? The team must be overflowing now. Diddy's always been known for having a tight-knit crew, but they're working overtime now. The streets are buzzing that his lawyers are pulling all-nighters trying to figure out how to keep this footage under wraps. They're probably drafting up more papers than a college student during finals week. But it ain't just the Lil Eagles. Working Hard They PR team is said to be in crisis mode. Cooking up strategy is faster than your mama's Sunday dinner.
I mean, obviously, she covers a lot of ground here and is somebody who is exposing, or at the very least, like is very tied in to celebrity culture. And we know that because it's really interesting. Movie stars like Julia Fox, star of Uncut Gems, saying, I know I never met Kylie in real life, but I felt like I knew her. So devastated, have been crying ever since the news leaked on TikTok. I will miss her deeply. Bunny XO, country music star Jelly Roll's wife, commented on Kylie's last TikTok, I am so sad. There are other TikTokers that are following up. So like celebrities and celebrity culture, like I like to obviously know her and talk to her and watch her. Did she cross too many powerful people, right? Is the question that many are asking right now.
Did she talk about Epstein?
So Kylie Marissa Raw, famous TikToker, has been found dead with no cause of death given. She recently uploaded videos exposing Oprah and Diddy. The family is unsure about what caused her death. Last week, leading up to her passing, she was having issues with her account with over 700,000 followers being banned. So again, a lot of people are saying like, what's going on here? Very, very, very odd. And a lot of those people are asking, did this have something to do with the exposing of Diddy? She has a lot, based on our review of her channel, she has a lot of focus on the Diddy story, and for good reason. I mean, obviously, right? Like for good reason. There are cameras, hidden cameras found all over Diddy's house.
Yeah.
Like when the feds raided the house, you know, the house looked like this on the inside. They ripped up everything looking for electronics. You can see the footage of the feds carrying out electronics, computers, hard drives from the house. Surely Diddy recorded somebody who he shouldn't have in his freakout parties, right?
That's what we were saying.
Got either a politician or somebody famous, somebody who could like call in a federal raid like this. And that's what happened to this guy. Look at this. Look at the servers, the safes cracked open, and the electronics strewn about. That's what the feds were after here. So what are people who knew Diddy saying about all of this? Various rappers are saying, yeah, we knew what you were doing. You had a hard drive with all of these tapes on them, and you were trying to hide them, right? Check it out.
But he need to build a spot over there in Bali for his boy Puffy. I warn Keefy D to take his ass over there. There's no extradition laws over there. So I'm warning you now, Puffy. Take your ass over there. Reggie prediction. I know Puffy is smart enough, and he probably done already cleaned his houses. Why? But sexual predators, what do they do? And we'd be like, damn, why? They treat their sex tapes like, yeah, remember that song, Me and My Girlfriend, that Pac did?
Why do you sound like this?
What he was talking about? What was Pac talking about, y'all? And that. Do y'all really know what he was talking about? For those of y'all know what he's talking about, he's talking about a gun, but
yeah,
sexual predators is what hold on to their tapes. And cops know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if some storages.
That is very, very true. Especially when you watch those movies and it's like a trophy. You see it has all these people names on them. But like I said, I'm leaning more.
You might be wondering, has Diddy said anything about all this drama? Well, honey, that's the million-dollar question. So far, Diddy's been quieter than a church mouse. No tweets, no Instagram posts, nothing. It's like he's gone ghost on us. But you know what they say, sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Some folks are saying Diddy's silence is smart, that he's waiting to see what exactly Oprah's got before he opens his mouth. Others think he's just buying time, trying to figure out how to EXP play away whoever's in that footage. Either way, his silence is making people talk more than any statement could. Behind the scenes, though, the streets are saying it's a whole different story. Dave's reportedly been reaching out to everyone he knows in the industry, calling in favors. It's going out of style. He's probably trying to get ahead of this thing, maybe even see if he can get Oprah to change her mind about leaking the footage. But here's the real deal. Some people are whispering that Diddy's panic ain't just about his public image. If what's in that footage is as bad as people are saying, he might be worried about more than just losing some sponsorships. We're talking potential legal trouble, the kind that could have him trading in his designer suits for an orange jumpsuit. So while Diddy might be keeping quiet in public behind closed doors, it's probably louder than a nightclub on New Year's Eve. His team's working around the clock, his phone's probably blowing up with calls and texts, and Diddy, well, he's probably pacing his mansion wondering if his empire is about to crumble faster than a sandcastle in a hurricane. One thing's for sure, Diddy's reaction to this whole mess shows just how serious this leak could be. If it was just some little thing, would he really be in full panic mode? The way he's acting is like he knows the tea Oprah is about to spill is scalding hot, and girl, you know, we'll be right here ready to sip it all up when it finally comes out.
That we knew about. They went to sit down with their lawyers and everything like that. So now he used that as a ploy. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all publishing back, but y'all gotta sign this NDA, non-disclosure. Y'all can't talk about nothing about Bad Boy. Y'all can't talk about me. Y'all can't talk about nothing I did or Janice Combs Publishing, Justin Publishing or whatever he got his company's name in, or Sony, Universal, none of that. He did that for a reason. He did that to shut them up. But then he went on this whole hiatus that, okay, I'm doing this to get back because this is the right thing to do. No, you did that because you didn't want those people to come out on you. And now, if they do, you take that publishing back that you gave them, which was, okay, they say it's worth something. It's worth something, but it ain't worth what it used to be.
Yeah, she also said in this documentary that, some people are worried that, if Diddy, if he make it through this, he might retaliate and do something to him.
I don't care about that. I don't think about that. And I'm never afraid of no man. You understand? And if she said that that's her own opinion, what I do know is this, is that he will never be what he was back when Big was alive and when Mason them and they did that whole Bad Boy for Life tour. He would never be that individual known like that again. And that's fine with me. I don't care if he ever do a day in jail. You understand? That's not for me. But I know for a fact he will never ever be what he once was based on what we know about him now. And I'm fine with that.
I mean, for you've been speaking on Diddy since the early 2000s. So, I mean, if he was going to do something to you, he would have been did it. So I'm sure he ain't going to do nothing to you, so.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But my head is always on the swivel. You understand? Every time I step my foot out of my house. I don't take nothing for granted. I don't judge a man by his side. I never have. I never will. I don't judge a man by the color of his skin. You understand? I judge a man by his character and how he come at me, no matter what size he is. So me is different because people look at me as being the catalyst of giving people the courage to come out and speak on it.
Now you might be wondering what Oprah's deal is in all this mess. Is she spilling the tea on purpose? Or did someone hack her iCloud? The streets are buzzing with theories, and they're wilder than a season final empire. Let's talk about Miss O for a sec. We all know she's the queen of getting people to open up. But this time she might have opened up a whole can of worms. Some folks are saying Oprah is playing chess, leaking this footage to take Diddy down a peg. But why would she do that? What's our end game? The tea is Oprah and Diddy go way back. They've been in the same circles for years running. Elbows at fancy parties and charity gas, but just as they smile for the cameras, don't mean it's all love behind the scenes. Word on the street is there's been some tension ruined between these two for a minute. Remember, when Diddy was pushing his vodka brand hard? Well, rumor has it Oprah wasn't too keen on promoting alcohol on her show. That might have left a bad taste in Diddy's mouth. And let's not forget Oprah's always been about empowering women, while Diddy, well, let's just say his track record ain't exactly squeaky clean.
Bro, it's a term in the legal field that you could indict a ham sandwich, but the Southern District of New York has a 98.2 conviction rate. All right, for those who don't know, if you got 100 people only 1.28 or something like that, 98 point, yeah, 1.8, only 1.8 has won against them. So now, what they doing, they already got the witnesses, they already got the people, because let me just say something. With the sex trafficking thing, it only takes one witness to convince the jury. One witness. And we know who that witness is going to be. Cassie. She filed a civil suit against him. So it only takes one, in the sex trafficking charge, it only takes one witness. Now we got other people like Jonathan Odie, who was one of the sex workers, that he gave a testimony, or well, he gave some information to some agents that he was working, doing sexual acts with Cassie, cross states, going back and forth, this, that, and the third. So it only takes one witness. So now, the reason they haven't went after for him, because there's more to get into. It's more to get into. It's not only the sex trafficking, it's the guns, the alleged drugs. And I'm saying alleged because they haven't came out with any formal charges yet. But when they come out with some charges, bruh, and you hit it, the Southern District of New York do not play, and people don't play with them. So I don't understand why this stuff ever even got to this point, but it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. The reason they haven't came down and got him yet, they going through his taxes. You hear what he said? They had all the people that he did business with. That they're gonna go through everything that he did with a fine-tooth comb. And when they set that and they get what they call discovery to his lawyers, he either say, I'm gonna take the time, because if he go to court with it, 9 times out of 10, he gonna spend the rest of his life behind bars. So the reason they haven't did it at this point, it's a lot of paperwork, bro. They got a lot of people working different angles. They got the drug angle. They got the tax angle. They got the, what else? They say the drugs, the tax, and then they got the guns that were found. They got to do a trace on the guns that they were found in the house. And then if you got 250 cameras, there's a lot of footage that them agents got to go through. So they got a lot of work to do, bro. They got a lot of work. What they took, how many years to indict Keefe D? They took a lot of years to indict Keefe D. And now he's sitting in jail. So they got a lot of work to do, bro. And it ain't gonna happen overnight. So I would think that probably in the next two months or so, you might be looking at something, bro.
And you said that Diddy, he got over 250 cameras?
He had over 200, they found over 250 cameras in his house, man.
Damn.
Allegedly. That's what they were saying.
So you do believe that Diddy is going to prison?
Oh, he going to jail, bro. And yo, and I don't wish jail on nobody, on the for real. I don't wish jail on nobody. You understand? But they already got their star witness. And you only, for one charge, for the sex trafficking, you only need one witness. One witness. That's crazy. I don't believe R. Kelly, you see what they did to R. Kelly? He went to jail for sex trafficking. He was dating those girls. Those girls was living at his house. Those girls was going back and forth with him willfully. How the hell did he get sex trafficking? And Diddy don't. Based on Cassie paperwork.
But here's the real question: if Oprah did leak this footage on purpose, what she got to gain, and more importantly, what she got to lose? 'Cause let's be real, Oprah's reputation is golden. She's like the antithesis of everyone else. Everybody trusts her. If people found out she was behind this, leak it. could mess up her whole image. On the flip side, some people are saying this might have been an accident, like maybe Oprah's team slicked up and let something out they shouldn't have. But that's hard to believe. Oprah's operation is tighter than a new pair of pants. You really think they'd let something this big slip through the cracks? Now, let's talk about how this might shake things up for Oprah. If it turns out she did leak this footage on purpose, some folks might start looking at her sideways. They might wonder what other she's been sitting on, and you know how people love to tear down their idols. But then again, if Oprah is exposing some real dirty deeds, she might come out looking like a hero. You know how folks love a good whistleblower. She could be seen as the one brave enough to take on a powerful man in the industry. Either way, this whole situation's got people talking. Is Oprah trying to clean up the music industry? Is she settling some old score with Diddy? Or is this all just one big misunderstanding? One thing's for sure, whether this leak was intentional or not, it's stirring up more drama than a real Housewives reunion. And Oprah, well, she's keeping quiet for now, but you know what they say, silence can be louder than words.
You know, him having some type of evidence on some really, really, really big names, because they said everybody used to be at those parties. So it could be a combination of both, you know, a combination. I wouldn't doubt it.
Or some of Puffy properties be getting raided real soon.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because lo and behold, just a few short weeks ago, we saw the government agents raiding Puffy's properties and seizing tapes, hard drives, computers, laptops, and various data centers from them, along with, of course, arresting his direct family members, or at the very least placing them under arrest by putting them in handcuffs, bringing them out of the house like this. So does this have anything to do with the death of this TikToker who has been exposing sort of this cover up here, right? You can see like in video after video after video, this expose about Diddy and what's actually happening. And some of these videos getting millions and millions of views. Did you get a little too close to the truth here? We're not exactly certain, but we do know what Jesse Waters was able to uncover about Diddy and about his freak out parties and what they were really about. This is why they're calling him the Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry. Have a listen.
Now, Diddy called these his freak out parties. In attendance were celebrities, politicians, athletes, international dignitaries like British royalty, Prince Harry, and music label executives. Lil Rod claimed some of the biggest names in the recording industry sponsored these parties with sex workers, drugs, and underage girls. The CEO of Universal Music, Lucian Grange, is named as a defendant. So is the former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia, Habert Mariam, and others. Lil Rod says hidden cameras were in every room of Diddy's homes. Lil Rod believes that Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Salacious tapes of Hollywood's biggest names, including record CEOs and politicians, doing drugs and cavorting with prostitutes and minors. The complaint argues that these freak-off parties were a business model. Young and up-and-coming talent attended and were promised career opportunities and access to music executives.
In exchange,
they were then plied with drugs and alcohol, filmed. Some were blackmailed. There was a quid pro quo, according to the complaint. Lil Rod said not only were these music executives sponsoring these parties, they were handing Diddy large sums of cash that he used to pay for the sex workers and drugs. Something tells me the IRS is going to be interested.
Yeah, man, I feel like there could be both as far as finding out what's going on with Epstein and still covering this Diddy stuff. But my whole thing is like, I mean, this video was uploaded 2 days ago, so I don't know if anything has came out about her. About the Kylie. So my whole thing is like, if there was some weird shadiness going on with her channel, her page, and I can guarantee you, almost every person that do YouTube or any type of videos have experienced some type of weirdness going on when you try to talk about the truth. It's like they don't want it out. But my whole thing is like, I don't know if her family, if they even will, if anybody will even say anything. But to me, that sounds pretty crazy. You know, that sounds pretty crazy. 36. I mean, you know, people pass away even younger than her. But when they say like no cause of death, like I said, I just don't know if it's released yet. But that is pretty crazy when, you know, like I'm covering people covering, but some people get all the evidence together and then they, or try, at least try to, and then they make their videos, you know. So my whole thing is like, it's very possible that something could have. Not saying it did, I'm just saying it's very possible, you know. So if it came out that something, but it just seems like nothing comes out, right? It seems like